And we are live, baby. You know what I'm saying? You got your boy, the king is in the house, in the building. Josiah Willis, you feel me?
Hurry
Also
up.
have my guy,
Yeah,
Machine.
we ain't got time for no introductions. They know
Hurry
what's up.
up.
We ain't
Hurry
got time for
up.
him.
Hey,
My name is Rail. My name is
My na-
Rail.
Rel,
my
His name is
my name is Greg. Let's get to the point. All right, let's go.
Greg,
Greg
easy.
McMonty.
Champ.
Gregory
Just
Montel.
call me Monte. Yes, sir.
A machine gun rally. You feel me?
Machine Gun
Machine.
Welly.
Kelly. He's better than Kelly.
Oh man, see,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Relavelli.
There we
Relevelli.
go. Hey, Machiavelli.
Magarelli. Relavelli. Macarelli. I like that.
Yeah,
Macarelli.
that's
I like that. I
And
like
hey,
we
hey.
Macarelli.
live outlets LYVE. Once again, that is spelled LYVE. No I, like how you see no I in team. But we are a team. We are brothers, a brotherhood, all that. And then some.
Polygamy.
Facts.
Polygamy.
Polygamy. Now I'm curious, what is that word? What does that word mean? Because I've never heard polygamy in my life.
Google it real
Oh
quick.
man. Let
Okay.
me, all right, as you're Googling it, bro, let me tell you, bro, polygamy is great. I practice it. All of my friends practice it. It is amazing. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Hey,
That's crazy.
hey, yo, what? Yo, that's crazy.
Polygamy, the practice or custom of having more than one wife
Mm,
or husband at the same time.
mm.
At the
Now
same
think,
time?
now think about this. Think about this, though. Think about this.
Oh, okay.
People throw polygamy around like now it's like a trending thing. Like a lot of dudes got a lot of female, like got two wives, and I know a female that got two husbands, which is crazy. But just crazy to have two wives as well. But think about this though. In the Bible, all those kings that had all those wives. When did Jesus? When did Jesus cut that?
Is there a scripture? Isn't there a scripture where Jesus said, um, every man should have one wife?
That's what I'm saying. Like, which one is it? That's what I'm
I
asking.
forget, but yeah, I know what Rel's talking about. Yeah,
I
there's.
do too. I do too. I'm just asking it for viewer purposes.
I'm
Yeah.
all, but at the same time, I'm also wondering, like, did that happen before or did that happen after he passed away?
Also, because yeah, we might as well get to the meat and potatoes. Uh, where where was the marriage certificates back in the day
Ooh, we
Before
got
God?
deep.
before God? So when you
That
get
was the
married,
marriage.
so when you get married, do you have to go to downtown the court system to actually get the license, or just get married in front of a pastor?
You talking about in the Bible days?
No, no. Well, in the Bible, no, Bible days and present day, because you know how people. This is like playing devil's advocate. This is like if
Let's see.
somebody is like, all right, well, you got Christians who saying that we have to get married a certain way, but in the Bible, David had like 40 wives, and we didn't see marriage certificates of 40 wives from David or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like they'll be looking for those type of answers. What answers would you give them if somebody presented that to you?
Hmm. That's
Can I
interesting.
answer it like this?
Yeah.
Now this is just my own opinion. I didn't study the Greek or the Hebrew, but I have a feeling that when the Bible says wives, I don't know if they meant like ceremonial, like weddings. I
Okay.
think I think that it meant like you got a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so for an example, if Solomon has 700 wives and this
Yeah.
man is running the entire country of Israel, do you think he had time for 700 weddings?
Of course not.
True.
You know, you know what I mean? That's just my take on it, man. That's just my take.
So is that so is that giving green light for all Christian men to have 700 wives?
Mm.
Well, look, now this is where things change with Christ,
Right.
because when we become followers of Christ, there's a lot of cross bearing with that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
so if we're going to be Christ-like, Christ has one bride, which is the
Mm-hmm.
church.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if we're going to be like Christ, I believe that we're supposed to mirror that image and have one bride. And I think that's why he said, "I command you to have only one wife." And husbands, love your wife like how Christ loved the church. You feel me?
Okay. Now, does it say husband love your wife, WIFE or WIVES?
Well, husbands love your wives, the
Yeah.
plural. Now
So because
that's
he's
a
talking
debate.
to everybody. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, you husband, love your
Right. Love your
wives.
wives.
Yeah, yeah.
Now my question is not even a question. It's a comment. We all had, well, not all, but because I don't know who never had a girlfriend before and not on this live, but actually viewing the situation. But a lot of us have been in situations to where one girlfriend is enough, let alone trying
Sure.
to grab 2, 3, or more. They're a headache as it is. But a female would feel the same way if they had more than one dude. It's like, no, he's a headache as it is. Why would I need more than one? So what
Yeah.
would be the reasoning behind okay, I would say this. What was the what in your opinion, not from a Bible standpoint, which possibly could be the only answer, but what would you feel off the top of your head on why you think David had that many wives? What was his reasoning?
Fruitfulness.
Yeah, because God did say, be fruitful and multiply. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to the book of Genesis where he describes like, man and woman coming together for that so that they can create amongst themselves generations.
How many kids do
Different,
Sarah got?
whatever.
How many kids do Sarah got?
Sarah, like Abraham's wife?
Yes.
So I believe there's 3, but I also believe from having an experience where I had a conversation with my brother's dad that perhaps maybe there could be more than one just children.
Right. So I know I'm trying to find out who in the Bible, female wise, has the most kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because now I'm thinking from another standpoint. I'm thinking on be fruitful and multiply. I get that, but is there a woman out there who had 9 or 10 kids or 12 kids?
Well,
Because
maybe,
if
sure,
she did, do you really have to have multiple wives if you got one spitting out 12? Not spitting out 12. I'm
It
sorry,
was
y'all.
Leah.
Having 12
for
kids.
sure. I think because in the Bible, and once again going back to Genesis, you had Jacob. He had 2 wives, or he had 2
Better
of them.
talk.
Mm-hmm.
He had Rachel and he had Leah,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure. I believe he loved Rachel a whole lot more than he loved Leah.
Mm-hmm.
He had a preference, of course, but he had multiple children amongst them. But I think he had more kids, I want to say, with Rachel than he did with Leah.
Is it fair for Jacob to love Leah more than the other one?
Not to Leah.
And who gets the benefit out of that? Is the woman okay with being married to somebody that has multiple wives and he doesn't love her more than he loves the other?
I don't think it was ever okay, but at the same time, it was a different time back then, and I think we didn't probably subject it towards like basing off of a like overall like preference. Like we weren't going about talking about like you gotta do this, you gotta do this one way, and it doesn't. God doesn't take into account of like I'm gonna punish Jacob because of that reason. It that he did that. Like it doesn't say like he got upset with Jacob because he loved Rachel and then loved his other wife unconditionally the same.
So if I had, not me, but if a person
Sure.
had a girlfriend or 2 girlfriends and he loved that one girlfriend more than the other, nowadays it'd be like, well, why don't you just fool with the one that you love, period, and stop fooling with the one that you don't really love at the same as the other person. But if we talk about being fruitful and multiplying, and if it was easier to do that back in the day, like with David, to have multiple, and you ask for somebody to be fruitful and multiply right now from a person who can't really have kids, how does that work?
Hold on. Run that back, bro.
Yeah.
We're talking about somebody who gets married to somebody who can't multiply.
Okay.
So but he still loves that person. Does the female give him free reigns to go be create multiplication with another female because she can't deliver what she's supposed to be delivering, but something is going on. The reason why she can't deliver, but he wants a son or a daughter or some type of something from out of his own loins.
Well,
how does that work?
Besides saying like expectations over what gender it could have been. I mean, that kind of like happened when Moses, not Moses, sorry, when what's his name, Abraham couldn't, him and Sarah couldn't have a child at first because she was
first.
But able to talk.
This was at first, but he ended up having a baby. This person is not having no kid. We're talking about a person who's not having no kid, period. She's never going to have a kid. Not no miracle, no nothing. She's never going to have a kid. She's with a person who wants to have a kid. What is she supposed to do?
You talking about in present day?
Yeah, present day.
They get surrogates.
Should he divorce her?
Ooh, that's deep. No,
see what I'm saying? That's what I'm asking a real question because you really love this person. You really love this person, but this person cannot have a baby. You don't find out that she can't have a baby until y'all get married. This whole time, you might have thought that y'all can have a baby. You get married and find out that she can't have no baby, and this is who you want to have a baby with. All of a sudden, you're trying to fill out the adoption papers and stuff like that later on, but she already knew. Not a surprise. She already knew she couldn't have a baby. Not you find out later on down the line she couldn't have a baby. We already knew she couldn't have one. We're talking about a person who already knew from the gate she couldn't have one. She knew you wanted to have a baby. And she told you that it's a possibility that she can have one if we keep praying and asking for this miracle or whatever. And it just doesn't happen. Did he get tricked into marrying her?
I'll be honest, bro.
Trust me. These are questions. I done heard these questions before.
Jesus Christ.
It's tough. You said what, Rail? You said you'd be honest. What?
Go ahead, Rail. Yeah.
I was gonna say, now this is my own opinion. I believe that a marriage is more than just standing in front of a pastor and getting a certificate. I think that it's becoming one, right?
Right.
And so if somebody tells you, all right, I can have kids, and then you get married and then you find out that they can't. If I really wanted kids, I will get an annulment, not because you can't give me kids, but because you lied to me.
Right.
I'm not gonna take this any further. That's just my opinion, because I don't. We just got married, so we don't have really no real attachment,
Right.
Now, if I didn't know that you couldn't have kids, we 10 years in, and we just wondering why we can't have kids, and I found out that you can't. That doesn't give you grounds for divorce.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. It doesn't give you grounds.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't give you grounds at all. Definitely doesn't give you grounds at all. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Because that goes with the polygamy on situations of a person has multiple wives. One person, wife number one might not be able to have kids, but wife number two can. Wife number three might already have kids already. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not giving the polygamy the benefit of the doubt or anything like that. But I'm just saying, for somebody to have a mindset to do that, why are they doing that? Why are you in search for two women?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, well, the one is cooking, the one is cleaning. You know what I mean? Or are they doing it because we being raw on the live? Are they doing it based off of? It's some women that's like, man, I ain't doing that. I don't feel like doing that. You do it. And the men don't want to do it, so he just brings somebody else in, and just to take the chores or whatever away from him. He has a whole bunch of females that could do it, so he don't have to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or from a deeper standpoint, when they're married, a woman could be like, oh, I don't feel like having sex with you today. The other person might be like, yo, all right, I will. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so it's like he's always trying to fill the void to make sure that there's never going to be a no being said. Because if you don't do it, she'll do it. because it's more than one person in the household now. Now it's two women in the house. You marry two people. So if she's denying, oh, I don't want to wash the dishes, then the other woman will do the dishes. Or I don't want to wash the clothes. Well, she'll do the dishes and you'll do the clothes. Oh, I don't feel like having sex with you today. All right, cool. Well, that one is sexually, she's ready. So at the end of the day, he's going to get whatever he wants all the time. So is that the reason why everybody in the biblical time had like 40 or 50 wives? So he would never hear the word no? You think?
Nah,
Hold on,
bro.
Josiah,
Like,
you muted. I can't hear you.
Anybody want to go?
I can't hear Josiah. Ebony, talk. Can I hear you?
I can hear you.
All right, I can hear her. Josiah, I can't hear him at all. He's gone. Yeah, I can't hear you at all, bro. Real.
Who needs them? Yo.
Hey, yo.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Real. Yeah. I can hear you and I can hear Ebony.
Okay.
I can't hear Josiah.
All right, cool. Yeah.
But yeah,
Josiah,
with this Ebony, the subject.
Just go ahead.
I'm asking questions, but also playing devil's advocate at the same time on why back in the day, people in the Bible actually had the guys had multiple wives, and why it's like trending now for guys to have multiple women. It's starting to come back. And I know a woman who has multiple husbands right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's coming back. And say something, Josiah.
Okay, am I back?
Right, it's clear now.
Good.
Yeah, so that's why.
Say,
hold on, I'm explaining it to Ebony.
Okay, cool.
So that's what I was talking about. So that's all it was. I was just bringing up from the polygamy standpoint of having more than one person. Were they doing it so they don't have to hear no? You know what I'm saying? Something like, well, I'm my hormones is raising and I want to have sex, and you don't want to do it, so I'll go to wife number 2. She don't want to do it. All right, I'll go to wife number 3. Somebody's going to do it. Is that the reason? You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't want to cook today, or I don't want to clean today, or whatever. All right, well, wife number 2, you want to cook? Wife number 3, she'll clean. But just what's the reasoning behind having multiple women?
Before she answers that question, and I don't want I'm coming, kind of like knock you out or something like that, with trying to cut you off or something. But anyways, no, I just want to give off a formal introduction right quick, just so you know, I can do it right. Feel me? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. For the first time ever, we have my sister
The first time ever? Dang.
I'm just saying, because it's her first time actually being active here on a live outlet space. You feel me?
Ooh.
No shame, no shame. It's all love, it's all love. But we got my sister in Christ, my big sister, Ebony Brown, in the building. Woo.
You the only one rooting like that. Dang, that's crazy.
Definitely kept that.
That's crazy.
What you have to say, Ab?
You could have kept that.
And that's why she's on the live. That's why
she's
on the live. Listen, the live don't get cracking until Eb is on this joint. Now he's lit. Now it's lit. It's lit now. All the jokes and everything is in. We on now. But yeah, that's what we was talking about, and that's what I was bringing up. I was bringing up sharp questions like that back and forth. I also brought up a question, and Rail answered it. I think Josiah answered it as well. If somebody got married, if somebody knew that they couldn't have kids, and they knew that they couldn't have kids, they got married to a person who wanted to have kids, but they never told that person that they could never have kids. And then when they got married, they finally let that person know that they can't have kids. Rail said that's grounds for annulment. And then also, he said, but if you knew that you can have kids and y'all got married, there's no grounds for that.
Right.
Well, I was saying, like, if somebody said, yeah, let's have kids, and you really wanted kids,
yeah,
and then y'all get married, and then they just tell you, hey, I lied, I can't have kids, I will get an annulment because bro, what the heck? Like,
yeah, so I lied and said I loved you in front of the judge because I'm out here.
Right, exactly. Yep. Like, I don't even want to take it further. But like, if we find out over time that you can't have kids and I really wanted kids, I don't think that's grounds for divorce.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Okay, so to answer the first question about multiple wives, like a man having multiple wives.
Yeah. From back in the day to right now, present. Yeah.
Back in biblical times, I feel like it was definitely, even still now, even it's a cultural thing. And you know, back in biblical days, they were literally like brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
So it was just like that was the norm for them. Right now, I think the motive behind people having multiple women or multiple wives.
Wait a minute. You said that the husbands and the wives from back in the day was brothers and sisters
Yeah, a lot of them were brothers and sisters
that were
Yeah.
sleeping with each other and being married.
in the biblical days. Yeah, a lot of them were
Yes.
like
Culturally, yeah.
I mean Sarah.
Wow.
They were
You know,
Abraham
Sarah.
and Sarah were brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, facts. I'm tripping. I know another story about that too. With
Yeah,
the
Which is
they
why,
were-
the
they-
Lot's
why
wife.
people think that's like incest, but at the random time that wasn't existing. It wasn't either existing or pre-existing. If that makes sense.
I ain't touching that.
to marry though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Right.
like, well, we just all here. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna replenish the earth?
There you
You
go.
know, if
We just all here.
yeah,
Listen, bro. Listen.
Deep, getting deep.
they were
Listen.
sisters, but I think today the motive behind why people do it, I do know that it's still that in some cultures is legal, but I
Yeah.
think more so of, I mean, here if you just talking about here in the States, you know, I believe like the motive is definitely just more of a lust thing,
Yep.
and just the issue with being committed. I mean, there are some religions who don't mind you worshiping other gods. Like they have multiple gods.
Yep.
You worship multiple gods. So for them, you know, infidelity or, you know, anything like that, that's non-existent to them, because it's like, well, they do that with their God. And I mean, here we sometimes, you know, those that are believers, they cheat on God. You know what I'm saying? When they fornicate, when they do all this different stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's really no different
Right.
from, you know, the culture to the religion. Like me personally, I think, like I said, it's just a issue of a lust thing, and men not just really being able to commit to one woman.
Yeah.
Some men feel like they're gonna miss out, because if we can all be honest, it's like, okay, just because you get married, that don't mean you go blind. And
Yep.
there's always going to be someone that looks better than you.
Oh, you getting deep tonight.
Never.
Always,
Not
it's
me.
always going to be somebody that looks better than you.
Not me.
I rebuke
Not
that.
me.
I don't
The
think
devil is a lie.
And I,
you better say it.
Hey, what he say, real? No, he ain't.
Oh yeah.
I
No, he ain't.
Hey, yo. No, go ahead.
no, but to me, I think, I don't know, like, I know self-confidence, like everyone, well, not everyone, most people, you should have self-confidence. I'll say that you should have self-confidence.
Yeah.
However, there's always going to be somebody that looks better than you. There's going to always be one that is taller than you, that is more buff than you, that have a bigger butt than you. Whatever the case, you may not think so, but your partner, they're going to see other people. Like, they're not blind. Bees, you with your girl, and
Hey.
walk down the street.
Hey.
I mean, you the only one in a relationship, but
That's a fact. That's
you
a fact.
walk down the street and, I mean, she's strapped. She got a small waist. She got a big butt. She got a body.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna act like you don't see that. Like,
I seen it.
you know,
I'm Ray Charles.
I didn't seen it.
not to look. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not just jonesing, but it's just like, dang.
I
Like,
got a basketball Jones.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's what.
Basketball.
Facts, I get it though. I
But
get what you're saying for sure.
It's like, oh, to me, I feel like, and I don't want to just put it all on men. Like, men are the only ones with like multiple women, because women have multiple men
and multiple women too. Where'd she go?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there she go. There she go.
It's just
Hey, y'all. Hey,
it's like,
I gotta make a quick phone call. I'm gonna hop back on.
All right.
It's just one of those things that it's like, dang, I'm gonna miss out on something. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what happens if I
Yeah.
run into somebody who, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has this fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
dream person, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dang, I'm gonna miss out on something. So I don't really want to be committed, but
Yeah.
I want the benefits.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my kind of spiel on why people have um multiple partners. To your second question about what was your second
What
question?
was the second question?
The
Dang.
question you had asked, you said they had answered it. Um,
Was it based on
Dang.
scripture, or based on on just the topic of being or just the word polygamy?
That wasn't the second question though.
Right, but what was the question? Did you ask the question like regarding the scripture again? Was it regarding scripture,
Uh,
you said to real
or just or did you talk about a question regarding relationship?
grounds for divorce, and
oh
it
yeah, yeah, yeah,
about
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
right.
believe, from a biblical standpoint, think that infidelity is the only ground for divorce. And that's just my opinion from a biblical standpoint of view. Now, do I believe someone is going to hell because they divorced their spouse for any other reason besides infidelity? Absolutely not.
I hope not.
Um, Definitely not.
Oh, I'm out of here.
I mean, like, some don't know the word, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I mean, so I get that question. Somebody asked me, like, what if somebody is being abused? Me,
Yeah.
personally, I feel like this is why you have to know who you are engaging yourself with to avoid
Yeah.
things. This is why you ask these type of questions during like the friendship stage. Like, no, we don't even need to move on to courting if we just got completely different views about some stuff. And
Right.
getting married and then just be like, oh no, I was just joking. Like, first of all, like, I wish people like really understood the importance of having the Holy Spirit. You can avoid a lot of nonsense with people if you just use discernment and allow the Holy Spirit to show you people. Because anybody that marries someone and then just be like, well, I was just joking, I don't really want kids. Like, at this point, you probably deserve my backhand because you just
Smackdown facts. That's a
wasted
fact. That's a
time.
fact.
Just
That's a
wasting
fact.
time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of, like, that's some nonsense right there. I mean, but unfortunately there are people like that because, again, I just feel like the necessary questions just don't get asked. And people just be so googly eyed, right? Like, oh, I'm just so in love. I'm just so in love that they don't even care. And then they
I get it.
stuck with somebody that just y'all completely different. They don't want what you want, you don't want what they want, and it's miserable.
Oh, okay. Now, what you saying
Nope.
that I like how you said that. I'm gonna throw a question at you. How do you feel about people when they say? Because I like what you just said. How do you feel when people say the opposite is attract?
Opposites attract.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe, I feel like you need opposite.
You
Like,
do.
Like a
and
negative, positive stuff like that.
yeah,
I
like,
mean, as far as battery stuff like that's what I'm
It
thinking
balances
of.
out the
But
way.
just to
it,
balance out, yeah.
and that's what a man and woman is supposed to do, right? I know this may kind of sound toxic, but anybody that I don't really like, we don't disagree about nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
I
we
can't
just
be with you.
everything. I'm just like,
Nah, yeah. It's like a yes man. Like you just, oh yeah, you want me to go do that? All right, I'll go do it. Oh, you want me to go that? Oh, no, somebody got to push back and be like, nah, you go do it.
yeah,
Like I don't feel like doing that.
you feel me? Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
personally think something is wrong with that. Like, if we just
yeah,
think about
I do too.
everything, like,
I do too.
that's not gonna work. I have to deal with me, so I wouldn't want a man that's like me. Like, I don't want
That
to deal with me.
No, because y'all butt heads quickly.
I have my daughter.
because he agrees too much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you.
He's agreeing to everything that
Yes.
you're saying. Like, oh,
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
what do you want to eat for dinner? Oh, what do you want to eat? I'm like, when are you going to step up and be the man and actually call the shot, bro? Like,
Yeah,
come on.
exactly.
When you gonna call the shot?
I personally
Yeah.
have anyone that is the same.
That's-
I believe that opposites do attract. They
Yeah.
should. That's where that balance comes in. Like, okay, where you're weak at, those are the areas I'm strong in. Where I'm weak at, those are the areas that you're strong in.
Mhm.
And I believe that's what kind of brings balance to a marriage when there's actually, like, man, like we can be alike in some factors. Like there are some things where you just got couples that's just like, yeah, we really love this, which
Yeah.
is great because you want chemistry, right?
Right.
Then again, it's like, okay, we need our differences.
Right.
Like I don't like sports. I just don't. No, I'm not into sports. You know what I'm saying? I
Wow.
love sports.
Yeah.
That's great. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I mean?
Now would you watch a football game with your man?
Absolutely.
Would
Sure.
you, if your man is having a football party, would you make like wings and stuff for his
Oh,
people?
absolutely, because I'm a server at heart. Like
It's
I would
um, um,
don't like sports. Like
That's
I sit
dope.
there and watch sports and I will be lost. Like I have no
Yeah.
idea
Yeah.
what a foul is, uh whatever. I don't even know the terminology, but I'll sit there and watch it with you because we spending time. It's the quality time that we're spending together.
I
Like
like that.
most to me.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Because it's some people that's oh well, you know what? It's one thing, and I'm glad you're on here because I can ask you questions. You can speak from a female standpoint. It's a lot of females that don't like guys who continuously watch anime.
Why?
Because it's a cartoon, they feel it's kid, they feel it's childish.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Just like, and they also feel that way if if a guy is continuously playing video games like all day, video
Yep.
games. How you feel about that?
Like running up my electric bill.
Cannot stand anime. Um,
Hey yo,
whatsoever. Me personally, I have my own thoughts about it, so that's why I don't like it at all. I believe no matter how grown a man is, like there is still like men are still like in a sense like they have that boyness to them, like that young kid to them.
mm-hmm.
So a man playing a video that don't bother me. Now you're not taking care of the home. You're not spending time with me. You're not
And
spending
you're not working,
time with kids. You're not doing what you're supposed to do.
and
But
you're not working.
games, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But me personally, I wouldn't have no issue, with my kid, um playing video games. Like, hey, if that's what you enjoy, you know what I'm saying? That's what you like to do in your little moments that you get to yourself, by all means, do what you do. But just make sure your responsibilities are not neglected.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm taking over this interview, and I'm interviewing. I'm sorry. I'm taking over this interview. I got another question. I got So, what do you Because I like having, because now we can have a conversation, and people can respond off of it. Because normally when we talk to Ev, it's always in the corner on the text message. It's not publicly out, so she can't really speak on behalf of the women, and now she can.
Oh,
So I want to know from a date purpose,
okay.
what do you like if a man took you out on a date, or what would be a date day for you, and no money is being spent? It is you and him.
Mm-hmm.
No money is being spent. But what are y'all doing?
Me, I like nature. I like water. So
Say it again. You like what?
I like water. Like I like to be
Water. Get it real.
Water.
That's your time. That's your time.
Water. Huh? Yeah, walking here.
Yeah, we're walking here.
Yeah, walking here. We're New York.
I'm so glad we got that on tape. Oh God, that was funny.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's a thing. So, like trail walks.
Yeah.
Parks. What else? Um, yeah, I like being outdoor or even just being at the house. Like,
That's what I'm saying. What are y'all doing at the house? Nothing spent. What's being spent? What's being done at the house?
shoot, whatever in the fridge. I whip something together, put it together. We sit, watch a movie. We could sit, chit chat. We could
Yeah.
play cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We could just chill, like without. I mean, like you said, without doing nothing expensive. I feel like it's easy to do. You could definitely get creative.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I like because that's what I like to hear from women because a lot of times a lot of women are really big on being spent on. Oh yeah, I need to go to the top of the line restaurant. I need to da 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 and this and this. And I'm like, yo, bro, just go grab some Doritos and get some nacho cheese or whatever. Let's play Uno right quick. Like, come on, run it up. Let's play Uno with Monopoly money. Let's bet with some Monopoly money or something like that, or play Monopoly or something like that. Like, yeah, that's how I like. I like that.
That's a very long game, but
what Monopoly?
Yes.
Nobody likes to play Monopoly because it takes forever. So we take out the middle part. We take it out and be like, yo, you're allowed to. First of all, we change. Well, house rules. You don't got to go around the board one time in order to buy property. And 2, you are allowed to buy property even if you only have one of the cards, not all 3.
Yeah, I truly believe that from a woman's standpoint, like if you cannot do it for yourself, you should not put that kind of weight on somebody else to do it for you. Take yourself to a nice restaurant if you want to eat somewhere nice. Like if you don't even take yourself to nice restaurants, you shouldn't be expecting no man to do that. Like you have to know how to take care of you first before you can try and put that pressure on somebody else to try to take care of you. It's like, well, he gotta be, making 6 figures and he gotta be doing this and he gotta be doing that, but you still live like you're still renting a room in somebody else's home. You don't have credit together. You are, you know what I'm saying? Like you got all of these things, but these are because you watch Love and Hip Hop and you watch all of these fake reality shows. You think you're supposed to be treated like these whores.
I got another question. Dang. I'm sorry, Josiah. I got another question. My fault, bro. I got another question. So let's say you're in a relationship. You're engaged. You're about to get married. Y'all about to get married, and 2 becomes 1 for real. This man, like you've been grinding. You went to school. You did everything. You cleared your credit. Your credit is at 830. You're getting it popping. You diamond in the credit. Your man's credit is like a 430. You know for a fact when y'all get married, that credit score you got blends in with his. You officially no longer have that credit on that's popping. What do you do? Do you and you see it because you with him? He's not putting no payments towards his credit to build his credit up, to make his credit better. Are you going to use any of your money to help him build this credit, to get the credit back to where you wanted it because you had it at 830? Because after you get married, it's not going to be 830. Or do you wait and tell him, we're not getting married until you get your credit score to where it should be? Because that's a real question. That's a real question. Because people don't think like that. People don't think like, yo, bro, my credit, I was out here grinding. My credit is at an 816. About to get married to somebody who got a 312 credit score. My credit about to go down to 490. I ain't gonna be able to get nothing no more. We can't get no house, no car with that. Or because you about to get married with the person, do you tell him or her, whoever has the good credit, to go ahead and purchase the car and the house before y'all get married, so y'all don't have to worry about that in the long run?
Let me answer for Ebony. I'm gonna answer for Ebony.
I don't.
Yes, she should. No, she should. She should merge her credit.
Hey yo, what?
Definitely.
Why submit to your husband's credit?
Oh my God.
No, that's not that part. It says why submit to your husband's,
not to that credit score. not to that credit score. Shoot, man. Ebony even grinding to get that 800.
I would
Hey,
say
bro.
really, I would say we at a stage like before we get married.
Yeah.
There's things that can be worked on. Now it depends on the person's mindset
Hold
because
on, is Josiah throwing up the Baphomet sign? I'm so sorry for interrupting, but Josiah's throwing the Baphomet sign up in this picture. Do you see that, Ed? Somebody
That's
pray
not
right
the
now, please.
Baphomet.
Oh
Somebody
man.
pray right now, please. Somebody pray right
That's
now,
not
please.
the
He
Baphomet.
always throwing up some type of symbol. What are you doing?
Nothing. It was one of my reactions, bro.
Yeah, whatever the reaction is, it's not in tune with what we speaking on.
Oh my god.
You might want to come back on the screen and just put it, mark it, send it to the ceiling, show the camera to the ceiling, because right now you are your wolf that right state. I don't know what y'all got going on, bro.
Yeah, man.
yeah, I would, but that's a really touchy thing,
It is.
and it matters.
It does.
Like it really
Yeah.
does matter.
Yes.
I get, like, I'm the type of person, like, I get it. I will get it out the mud with you. I would help. I would be a helpmate. Like, I'm there. But if your mentality is not to build, if your mentality is not to get yourself together, because I get it. Like, a lot of people are just financially illiterate. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, they didn't teach a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, dang, like, do I just hold this one thing against this? It depends on what type of guy he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But mindset is in a place where you're just like, okay, first and foremost, you should already be working on taking care of that before you even trying to walk somebody down the aisle. And like, you shouldn't be dressing no woman unless you are in a position where you are prepared to take care of her.
So you feel you should be single until you have enough, till your credit score is okay.
You should be single until you in a comfortable. It ain't even really necessarily about your credit score, but you're in a comfortable place financially, and you are working on building your credit.
Okay.
I'm completely honest. Like, a lot of, especially us as African Americans, like, nobody really know not much about credit. Like, you got your small handful that's, just really into that, and they have the information and the knowledge about that, but not too many people are, or they have that knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. There's a difference between someone who is working on it and they're actually taking the steps, like, yes, I am getting this together. This is something that I am actually getting together, versus somebody else that's just like, well, shoot, that's just too much. I'm not really worried about that. I got a good job. I think that's good enough. That's
Right.
There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, would that be, I personally believe as a man, not saying like your credit score have to be 800, but I just feel like you should be in a comfortable place. Like, you should have a good paying job, and you should be at least working on building your credit. Set something up, not just for, you and your spouse, but for your generations after you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of men don't think about generations. You know what I'm saying? After them, they're just like, well, what can I get? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's I'm not gonna say that it's a red flag or it's just like a no for me.
Yeah.
I will say that it just depends on the individual and their mindset.
Yeah. So Rail.
Yo.
Rail. So what if
Yo,
you're about to get married to somebody and you are the person with the 830 credit score, and your woman that you're about to get married to, she's at 412. She's trying her best to build her credit, but she doesn't have an income to act. She doesn't have a legitimate income to make it jump high. But she did put herself in that situation. She got a repossession on her joint that has something to do with her. She had her losing her apartment that has something to do with her. None of this stuff had anything to do with you, but yet you're in the picture right now. Do you help her pay those off?
I think it depends on our relationship.
Yeah. Do you accept her? Do you accept her situation, and you help get her out of the situation?
So here's how I'll answer that, right? Say I just meet somebody. Like, I'm in my 30s, she in her 30s.
Yeah.
We got our own past, and she just had a rough past that got her in this situation. Personally, I'm not going to feel obligated to help. If I want to help, I'll help where I can, if I can. as long as it's not dragging me down. Because if it drags me down, it's going to drag us down.
Right.
Fair.
But as far as like a marriage, here's how I would address that. Say I really love this person, but they just financially messed up.
Yeah.
I personally would do a covenant marriage. A lot of people don't agree with that. But
What's a covenant marriage?
A covenant marriage is getting married before God without the government or the state being involved. That way we can dedicate ourselves unto God in the church, have the whole ceremony, the whole thing. It's just that we're not married according to the state. So if we really want to be together, we'll dedicate ourselves. But as far as doing it smart, let's get legally married when we get financially stable so that we don't pull each other down. That's how I would address that.
Wow, that's deep.
That's real.
That's deep. A covenant marriage, bro. Wow.
Yep. Side note, I just may consider that on my next one. Yeah.
Man, dude, that
divorces are expensive.
Yo, oh, you know, well, my divorce was cheap, but anyway, we ain't talking about that.
Well, your next one, getting a divorce, so you don't have to worry.
Hey, yeah, you better prophesy.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Or prophet lie, one or two.
I actually got a question right.
The prophecy.
What's your question?
It's for Ab once again.
When you get glasses on.
I told you, man, dude, you should have been here when you should have seen him in the dressing room. This man put on the jewelry and everything for the lineup for the show. Look at him. Right. Look at him.
Let me take my scarf off.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Ed out here, Ed being Ed, the no limit soldier, and you out here trying to look like like the dream out here. What you doing?
The dream.
What we doing, man? Come on.
Or like the nightmare.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Go ahead.
That hurts, bro.
Go ahead. Man. That man said the nightmare.
I did not be scared.
The nightmare of right state.
All right, bro.
The nightmare.
Chill out. All right. Anyways, no. In all seriousness, though, Ab, I want to ask you a question, and this is just directed towards you, but also directed towards those who are listening to this. What is your advice for those who are currently living a single life, not married, not dating, let alone even going through a divorce, but just they have had experiences before, but right now they're currently living a single life just for themselves?
Oh yeah, he asked me in real this already on the other episode. That's why he asking you. Because you wasn't here, remember? You wasn't here.
Hey, what was the question again, bro?
A question that Ebony should have already known about, but she wasn't on the show because she was busy. No, that date she was on, remember?
Basically,
the date.
What is like to live a single life, but also what is the advice for those who are currently not going through a dating process, marriage process, let alone divorce process?
Josiah just looking for all the keys for herself.
He sure is. I am free therapy
right now.
You already know, brother.
Just to be sure that I'm clear on what you're asking, what advice would I give those that are single, and what advice would I give those that are dating or divorced?
No,
I'm not asking for that question. At least now right about
now. No, we're only asking your advice for the single. That's it.
We ain't asking for that though.
Now, for single people.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say first to actually define what being single is, so you'll know what you're doing. Because some people think that being single means not having somebody, not being in a relationship with somebody. And that's not what being single is at all. The analogy, I'll share the analogy that God had gave me. So if I give you a dollar bill, I give you a $1 bill, that's $1, right? If I give you one piece of paper, I gave you a single sheet of paper. The number one has always been vertical. It has never been horizontal. Ever. The number one is vertical. So being single is more about your vertical relationship with God than it is who's on the side of you. And that's basically
You see how deep she just went? That's crazy.
That was corny, but okay.
I'm not deep. God gave that to me. That wasn't.
Oh, you can't say it's corny if God gave it to you.
Yeah.
Dang. All right, God, I take it.
You gotta take that back, bro.
You gotta repent, bro.
That wasn't the Ebony line.
Repent.
Oh God, why you gonna set me up like that, Lord? You knew that was you. Why didn't you tell me?
That was that was the analogy that was given to me personally. Like,
hold on, I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
You deal with like, oh well, I don't have anybody, so you think that you're single because of who's next to you, which is that horizontal. Which the number one also represents wholeness. It has nothing to do with who's on the side of you. That horizontal relationship does not matter in your singleness. It's the vertical relationship, the number.
Yeah.
That's what will make you whole. That's what makes you, when you step into that, then it's like, okay, I'm single. It doesn't matter about who you're in a relationship with, because people that are courting, they're single. People that are engaged, they are single until they get married. When you fill out an application, it says single, married, divorced, or widowed.
Right.
It never says single, courting, engaged, married, widowed, divorced. So if you're not married, if you're not divorced, if you're not widowed, you are considered single. So again, that singleness, that's to me, that's the advice I would give, is just work on the vertical relationship. Take yourself out on dates. Get comfortable with you. Understand who you are. So when someone does come in the picture, your dependency is not completely on them. You're not looking for them to build you up. You're not looking for them to meet your every need. Like, you're not needy. You should not go into a relationship being needy. I'm not saying like you shouldn't have to be met, but you should not be needy. Why? Because you have a solid relationship with God that meets all of your needs. I'll be honest, I'm 32, and maybe within the past, since I stepped into my 30s, I just started being single. And I ain't been in a relationship with nobody since. I ain't been in a relationship since I was.
Yeah.
About 10 years.
Zero what?
It's been about 10 years since I've been in a relationship with somebody.
That's deep.
But I'm just now starting to be single. You know what I'm saying? Because before, even though I wasn't in a relationship with nobody, my vertical relationship was just not there. Like, I was just constantly thinking about marriage. Like, I want to be married. I want to be married. Almost like idolizing it. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like, okay, I can finally and confidently say, like, yes, I am single and I'm okay with being single. That's how you know when you're actually just moving in singleness, and you're in that place when you're okay with being by yourself. Like, how you gonna want somebody to be around you? You don't even like being around you. Like, you don't even like you. You don't love you. You know what I'm saying? So how you expecting somebody else to come in a picture and treat you well? If you don't know how you should be treated, if you don't know how to treat yourself, people won't come in and they're gonna walk all over you and they're gonna do whatever. They're going to treat you how they think how you should be treated.
That's real.
I would say that's my advice. Understand that vertical relationship and really connect with you. Like, I know that sounds super selfish, self-centered, you know, but it's a real thing. You have to know you. You have to be
No, that's
comfortable.
real.
You have to love you, or you won't be no good to somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah. The reason, you got something to share about this before I go ahead and get into my observation overall?
But not at all, man. Like that's just A1. Like she kept. That's how you say it. She hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts.
Mm-hmm. I had a conversation the other day with my friend, and basically me and him were both like, man, you gotta be able to say at the end of the day, just cherish these moments, like when you're not like in the process of dating, or you're engaged, or you're married, or blah blah blah. Like cherish the moments when it comes to just being alone, like to yourself, really. And if anything, sometimes if I keep it real, because once again, for the record, whoever is listening to this right about now, I've never had a girlfriend. I've never engaged in sexual intercourse. I've never gone there, ever.
Woo!
You know what I mean? And I am, 22 years old. I'll be 23 sometime later this year in November.
Come on, testify.
Man, by the time I was 23, I had 7 baby mamas, man. You better get on it.
Right. But
Terrell's annoying.
I know, bro. But at the same time, no, it teaches you how to just be appreciative of and be, grateful that you are alone to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it teaches you so many different things just by yourself. Like, I don't know what it was about me being here in college, like when I was in my first dorm. But I just remember having like these thoughts of like, Josiah, okay, you gotta improve. You just got to improve somehow. Like, improve on yourself, improve how you treat everybody else, improve the way you can be, the way you should operate, all different types of things. And part of the reason why I asked you that question is because, again, I know this of you. You told us this, but I feel like people need to hear your stuff, and they also going to hear a beautiful. I think it's going to be a wonderful testimony when we get into certain different things eventually. But I feel like what we just said just now is going to help others. Those who are single, believe it or not, are depressed.
Mm-hmm.
They're very depressed, and very sad, and very insecure, and think that, it's no one loves me, or I'm unattractive, or I can never get married, or I can never have kids, or I can never go through this, and blah blah blah. It's like all these negative connotations that we associate ourselves with, and it's like, no, it's not true. It's not true.
To that point that you just said, that's another thing I would say is be careful what comes out of your mouth.
Yes.
You speak is what you're partnering with and you come into agreement with. So you have to be careful with the things that you